Now we know Pup here. Mordred, is a late game champion, fine enough, but Pup really gets you through the early game, makes some of the supports, which are very powerful in general, even more powerful. That's I think the Baby Root, Fanny, and Madmim are the supports early. Even on, I don't know how many supports there are on. Oh, on 3 you have the good support and the evil support. I think it's the 2 witches, and then on 4 you get the, I think, Lady of the Lake. I don't remember the other one, but it's a ranged character. I think it's like a 1/3 range that gives +5 attack. Um, so here we're taking the Baby Root. Just a very good support for the next turn. Our opponent will get a free round, but they might have done that anyways. Hopefully we'll get a spell we can cast, because we're not going to have, any sort of, ability to get more gold. We don't have a slay or a power of some kind. So we'll only be able to buy one thing, but it will get buffed +2/+4, which is significant. Okay, so we could cast this. That would buff any of our characters. We can cast this, and if we don't like the thing, although I don't even know, because even this would be, this keeps growing. We'll see what we get. Billy Goat. Is this better than the Billy Goat? It's definitely better, but this is fairly large. I think I'm fine keeping that. And I kind of like the cat here, so I'm thinking of pausing, although I don't love these other ones that we'd have to buy. There might be a 4th one coming, but yeah, we'd have to buy something else. I don't love that. Oh, and unfortunately they're going to be 1 health too big, and we're going to lose this round. That was a pretty close one. If we had the ranged, we might have been able to pull it off. Huh. Okay, so I mean, this makes me want to do this and this. This is of course great to buy as well, but we're not casting spells here at the moment. And next turn we're hitting 3, which means we want to do some other stuff. We could grab this, next turn cast this, but then we only have enough to buy a 2, so I don't think I love that. We do want some more supports. This is a very strong ability if you get supports. Obviously it's not, strong if you don't have supports. It does nothing. And if we get these cats a little bigger, we can maybe consistently get some slay triggers, and that might allow us to just, get a strong board. So we'll try. If we can get like a second support here, we can even move some stuff around. So we'll get 1 slay trigger, we'll win the fight. They had an upgraded Labyrinth Minotaur. So there's not any other supports here. We can grab this, and we can grab this. Or what if we could grab 2 things instead, right? We can sell the Billy Goat for this, but this is actually worse in combat, so I think we'll just grab this instead. This obviously is great if you have supports because they fill up the front row, meaning they're always going to get the buffs. Unfortunately, we have 1 here. We're hoping just to trigger this right now because we just hit level 3, meaning that if you get this right now, you get a level 4 at the time when it's the biggest jump compared to the levels. Everyone's going to be level 3 right now. So if we get a level 4 long before everyone else does, that makes it very strong. Unfortunately, we only had a 1 in 3 chance. And we're not going to hit. Doesn't look like we're going to hit. Oh, we hit the sleigh. And actually, we have a 50-50 shot here. Yeah, unfortunately, if it hit this, we would have been able to finish them off. We're going to lose this fight, take a little bit more damage. Stuff doesn't always play out your way. We'll grab this. Pairing these is great. And now we really need to find some supports. Here's one, so we're going to grab it. Not even really looking at the rest of the board. Putting this in back, I'm going to put this here. Put this up front. Throw this in. I'm even going to buff this, trying to get this sleigh. We'd love to get these two sleighs still. It's still early enough, they're pretty good. Now we gave this 6. 6 is, you know, probably enough. I mean, not all of these are going to survive, obviously. They could, but it'd be very unlikely. You know, these could survive a hit, because they do have 5 and 6 health. But yeah, I mean, this spot is very powerful, because, you know, we're getting +3/+3, and then +4/+2. So, which is, you know, all of this is, that's, you know, +7/+5, and this starts as a 1/1. Oh, unfortunately they have this character, which gets to hit our back line and make it a lot weaker. We're going to lose this fight pretty badly, unfortunately, but we got 2 slide triggers, I think, and we got a great support out of it, actually, so now we have just a whole mess of supports. I think we actually need this here just because it won't trigger otherwise. If we're going to do this, we'll do this. We don't have any good characters want to buff. We could buy the chicken just because you can sell it. Okay, we have a variety of things we're going to do here. We're going to buy these 2. Getting a buffed character is very good. I'm actually going to take this out for a round. I'm going to sell this. One gold each round, I think, is maybe that's a little better. Although, unfortunately, it buffs all sports. So we're going to put these in. We'd like to do this when we turn 4. Because if we get it when we turn 4, we can get a upgraded 5-drop. Which is going to be a lot better than an upgraded 4. And if we put it here, I think it's pretty safe to get the upgrade. So, I think we're going to do that. We're going to be weaker this turn, and we are pretty low in health, but I think we want to make the more ambitious play here, because getting an upgraded 5-drop is very powerful. We have a backline of supports. You know, 2 of them are not things we want to keep long term. That was sort of an unfortunate hit there. They also have a backline of supports that is fairly tough for us. But it looks like we'll take this one down, which is great. We were taking a lot of damage, so we're glad to not be taking more of it. So what are we looking at here? This is great if it's buffed. So I think we'll grab that. We could even just grab this. And if we see any great 4s, we can buy them here. Medusa's obviously great, but I'm thinking a little greedier with this. If it takes damage, we get some gold. If we hadn't cast this, obviously we'd buff this. The bigger this gets, the more times it can be hit. Once its attack gets big, it does some pretty intense stuff. This hitting would be amazing if we could get a 5 here. If we don't get a 5 here, we might take it out for a turn. And so if we get the level, right, we'll be... So if we win the fight, we'll be... What if we... I'm trying to think of alternatives, because we could put this back in... What if we do this, like something like this? No, not this, right? We'll do this. Hopefully we win this fight, obviously, and get this, because our whole plan sort of depends on that. Looks like we'll win this because they just don't have a board. Perfect. So we're going to get to 6 or 5 right now, so we'll put this back in and try to get a 6-drop treasure out of it. Or not a 6-drop treasure, a 6-drop spawn. So unfortunately, and we're going to get this because it reduces the health of the things in front. And we're going to grab this and this because they are 2 5-drops. And they work really well up front. I think in an ideal world we'd have an attack. We'd have this attack earlier, but just the way things play out. So I think, is it better to have this have 11 or to have 16 but attack second? feels like 11 should be enough. I'm just gonna feel really silly if it's not. It's actually 13. Yeah, we're gonna go with this. Yeah, we're gonna go with this. It just, the second attack is a lot less likely because your opponent gets attacked in the middle. We could even put something like this in. Yeah, let's put this in, right? Because if this gets hit, it makes it easier for these two to slay compared to this, which doesn't really do that. You know, it has more attack and it does more damage if it triggers. And if we get a a leveled up 6 here, we can probably build a comp around it. Most 6s are things you can build comps around and just really go off with. So, and most upgraded 6s, I keep calling them leveled up, but yeah, they're upgraded 6s. Oh, unfortunately, they have a large front line. Oh, wow, yeah. Their front line was a little too large for us. We might still win this fight, but that is a little bit back-breaking, I think. Yeah, this is going to take out everything. Wow. Oh, we really wanted that 6. But if we wanted it, maybe we should have, thought more about what we were doing. I think we'll just roll. We're going to try to triple one of these things. We'll take some health. We love health. Huh. We could take this, try to get the 4 level. Or just take the book. The book right here. Strong book. Is it better this way? So tough because it didn't work out last time. But I really don't know if that was the fault of the lineup. It looked like, because I think this had 5 more and I think it's about with 6 health. So I don't think it would have mattered either way. Obviously, we don't want to be like, oh, if it attacked this specific thing, because a bunch of stuff might have happened before that attack triggered anyways. We'll put it second. Yeah, it gives these more time to trigger. I mean, everyone's going to have a different style of board. We'll put it first. I don't know. It's tough. We need this to trigger soon, otherwise it's, a huge waste. It's really what we built, the compound. We have gotten 2 extra XP, so we are a little bit ahead in levels compared to some other people. If they get first attack and hit some of these and they blow up, that can work for us. Okay, let's have a small front line. Oh, it got sheeped. So, didn't matter at all. That was really something. Okay, if these get hit, it will blow up their back line. And that will blow them up again. Wow, tie, because this just went off. Wow, that went off. We don't actually want these supports because they're so bad. So we don't want to triple them. I think we're just going to focus on... Grab this and go 6 immediately. Grab this for the reason that it makes this easier. We're going to need better supports if we're going to keep them in. Late game, there's the, I think, Grumble Gore that gives plus 10 attack, and there's the Green Knight that gives plus 10 health. Those are both fine, but we might just be off the support plan. This buff fades in relevance as you go later, so, we're going to focus on tripling our 5 drops and trying to get some treasures to replace. These are doing very little. This is actually buffing the back line that we probably don't even want buffed. And this is also doing the same thing, meaning these will attack. Against this person, I think we'll do this. Evil characters on level 4 have not a lot of health. For the most part, this I think has maybe the most. And, Krampus doesn't always go evil, but they're incentivized to. This one has the random buff, meaning you might need a little more to get through. I think we'll try this. I mean, last time obviously it didn't matter. We got, not sheeped, it was, golemed or whatever it is. Okay, this has 17, and yes, so we got it. So we'll get an upgraded 6, which, again, we're hitting 6 now, so it's not super relevant. And actually, we're going to lose this fight, take some damage, because this got buffed somehow. I didn't even see what it was. Well, we got a dragon, which I don't think is very impressive here. After all of that, we don't have any good characters, so that's not helping. We don't need to triple that. Storm King, always interesting, especially when we have books. I wonder if it's... Is it too, like... Okay, here, let's go for this then. 3 and 4. Grab this book. We're gonna end up short a slot, aren't we? Something dies. Blow up the world. Next time we buy something, we upgrade it. I like that. My thinking is that if we can find another Storm King, that's amazing. If we just find a random 6 that we like, that's very good. It makes it a little awkward if you upgrade, if you buy one of these and do it. You just have to skip those, I guess. But just being able to get an upgraded 6 is really nice. Hopefully this dragon can do something here. That's actually pretty good for us. We have to sheep some stuff. Looks like we'll win this because the Storm King's just a little too big for them. Obviously it wasn't, it's not super big yet. I will grab the health because it buffs Storm King. We don't want this. We don't need an upgraded dragon. We don't even like our first dragon. Okay, here we go. Upgraded book is going to be a nice little front line for us. Grab that, buff Storm King. So we're sort of heavily into this book strategy. And the Storm King's actually very small for this point in the game. But if we keep casting, 4 spells a fight, and if we can get that upgraded at some point, we actually saw the Knighthood. Knighthood in this is great. This is one that upgrades well, I think. Although having 2 large Storm Kings is also great, if we could find some of those. Unfortunately, because we used that treasure to get this, we don't really have a lot of potential for tripling yet. We only have this one available, really. This came upgraded, so we're sort of in a position where we need to figure out where we're going and try to get some treasures, because having just this does literal nothing at this point. We don't have any 3 drops, and this is giving +1 attack, which is pretty marginal at this point. So this person's board is actually fairly tough for us, I think. We are getting all our spells off. And this will actually wipe their board. So yeah, I guess it wasn't as tough as we thought. But they didn't really have a... Seeing them knocked out that early is kind of surprising. Okay, so we do get a 5-drop treasure. Huh, we could double our other abilities in a situation when our other abilities are awful. So we're going to get this instead. And we're going to need to just buy something. Huh. I want to buy this. I think instead of... Oh, buying this is fine. Because when these die, it will buff all of these. This is a support. This is just some sort of pumpkins, but I don't love this board. Obviously, we didn't even cast a spell to buff this. But this should buff all of these when these die, making this, a little bit more respectable. And, the potential to triple this, or this soon, or hopefully this, is there. So, we have 19 health, which means we hopefully can survive at least 1 more loss. And hopefully we don't have any losses, but, just trying to have a realistic sense of things. And, you know, we're weak to anything that sort of can just take this out. Although this isn't the main part of our power at this point anyways. That's mostly because we don't have... oh, that's always not super what we're looking for. This will deal 8, leaving just the books. Okay, so we'll win. No, we'll tie. Second time I think we've tied this round because, or tied this person because of sort of after the fight attacks that they got. Okay, how do we get that? Is there any way to get that gracefully or no? Do we wait here? Maybe we wait. Or do we have to take it? We end up selling this for it, right? I don't want to sell that either. What if we just do this? We'll lock it and we'll put this in for this. This is actually buffs our things better. No, we gotta put this. This is more strength, and we don't want to get knocked out here. We're gonna lose our support, but the support's not doing that much. I don't think this doesn't trigger when it's on the bench. We'll get a 6-drop treasure next time. The reason we didn't do it this time is because we didn't want to go down a minion in the fight, although that might have just been misguided. It's feeling misguided at this point, honestly. Getting some buffs. The thing about upgrading Storm King is it does make you vulnerable to like a big polymorph or poison apple. However, we're gonna get over that. You buy a spellcaster twice. We'll replace this. This is actually a little bit worse. Okay, we mostly want things that... okay, we'll grab this. I think we cast a variety of spells. Yeah, that seems fine. We could sell 3 things and grab this. Maybe that's worth it. These are all monsters, but it's not clear that they're going to get the chance to attack. This only works when we buy spells, so it doesn't mean these cast twice. Although these are already casting 2 spells. We don't want to get super greedy. I think this thing is worth keeping in just because it does, you know, 31 damage to a couple things. And, you know, just given our board, that might just be enough to be worthwhile until we find something that, you know, fits a little better. We'd take another Storm King here, we'd probably take more books. Fortunately, they're just stats, which is nice for us because we don't have to worry about this getting polymorphed or anything. Oh, that was nice, we were able to take out their backline champion. Get some spawns here. We'd love some books. No books. These actually aren't doing anything, so it's going to be a pretty close fight. We're going to win it, but it was just a lot closer than it looked to begin with. Because we summoned a full board of just things that didn't do anything. Oh, another pumpkin. I'll take that. So if we buy spells, they cast twice. I don't think that's the one we want. Now we could cast this on this. We love spells that let us... I think we want this. Then we'll cast this twice. I think we're going to put this in. It reduces the... something like this seems... we could put another pumpkin in back. And what if we got rid of this and put this here, something like this? We're basically all in on this, unfortunately. But as long as this survives, I think we're in decent shape. This was pretty strong, but yeah, maybe it's just stronger than this. We get a little less scaling because we're getting one fewer spellcast, but it does seem just a lot stronger. And hopefully this doesn't get the first attack and kill us again. No, we got the first attack on this one. That's good for us. Fortunately, this can eat a lot of shots, and now that we summon more things, it gets the chance to eat some, shots of this, basically, which is just kind of crushing everything. Wow, they got an upgraded book. So this is dangerous for us because this can sheep this. Wow, yeah, they are just kind of going off with some of these things. Although we get an extra spellcast, which makes us even more powerful. Oh, we get another extra spellcast. Just keep buffing this. Looks like we're going to win this, although how much damage we have depends on what survives. And we were able to survive with a little bit of something. Okay, we want spells that we can cast multiple of. We want more books. And I think, okay, mask, the first one does nothing. Grab that. And the second one doesn't do a lot. We don't have any support, so none of those were useful. Is Sad Dracula the best thing here? Or is this slightly better? I know we summon a lot of things. We'll grab this. We summon things because of this. Okay, well. That was certainly something. We wanted to get a spell cast. I was hoping to get like a Mordred would be great. I'm sure there's some other ones that are helpful late game. I just can't think of them. Would ever give the last breath also slays, means that if these hit anything, there's a potential for that. We might want to start getting polymorphs going to these fights. It is possible that because we were going against a ghost character, it might have been better just to put all our books in to maximize the scaling on this character. Yeah, this makes all these things a little bigger. It's not hugely impactful, but okay, so we get to cast this twice, that's nice. This cast twice. Oh, we could sell 3 things to upgrade something. 1, 2, 3. I could upgrade one of these maybe. 1, 2, 3. Maybe this is off. 1, 2, 3. Upgrade a pumpkin. And our plan right now is just to cast a lot of spells. I think we want these in front because they're more likely to get picked off by the random spear. This might have been just too much stuff on one character. On one, to spend on one spell. 12 gold is an entire turn. It's possible we could have kept rolling, or maybe just bought this, let it get. This doesn't really get doubled, so we're not really taking advantage of this. Let it get doubled, we can shrivel a couple things, or we can even. I don't think we want this because I think we want these to trigger quickly. If they don't polymorph this, this is very big and makes it, fine. But if they're able to take this out, we could be in trouble. Oh, Medusa is also an issue. Medusa also gives them, outs. Yeah, I mean, the double book is scary for us. So it did get a rotten apple. Oh, and it polymorphed this, so they got both the things we were worried about. They just happened to get them on characters that didn't affect us too much. So a lot of supports all in the front, but they are ranged, so they do have that. Every time they summon something, we're taking a ton of damage from this. We have enough stats here that we should just win, but you know they don't make it super easy. And now we're at the point where one victory will do it, so hopefully we can get there. One minute we're looking. Oh, we can't even afford this, so it's probably best that we don't. We'll probably walk into a trap with that at this point. I'm gonna grab this because it casts a bunch of spells. I'm gonna upgrade this. When we summon characters, they get a buff. I think we'll take that and replace this. And we'll just put this in front. No, we don't want this in front. We're gonna put this over here. The reason is that... Oh, well, there's another Storm King. I didn't even see it. We're gonna grab that. The reason that we put this in back is we want our first thing, if it attacks the Medusa, to get the kill on it. We don't want to let this attack in, die, and the Medusa is going to attack one of our books. We want to give the Medusa a chance to not attack our books. If we get the first attack, once we trigger these, Medusa has a chance of dying. But yeah, Medusa just has been annihilating us with her nonsense this entire game. Okay, so let's see. Oh, they get the book, yep. Reducing the book's health isn't super impactful. We'd like one of these to die before this goes off, because it reduces the chance of us just getting polymorphed. That didn't happen, but we should be fine. They keep getting these big summons here. And every time we summon something, it gets pretty big at this point because of this and this and this power. So we're getting pretty large summons, and I just don't think they have enough stats to do anything against us. Just with our Storm King, who got very large. And we take one down, so really good game by I think we started with Pup, we ended up with Geppetto, and we just got doubled books. I guess triple books, right? And cast a lot of spells. We actually won the last round with a random bossy on board, which is fun. But we had so many upgraded characters. I mean, you hit this many upgrades, and I think one of these was sort of cheated out by the treasure, but the rest of them we just straight up got a lot. Oh no, actually we cheated out this one as well, right? We knighthooded this. So yeah, I guess, you know, there was some, you know, sort of cheating going on. We didn't actually just naturally triple all these, but we did grab it. We saw a ton of books. This means we bought at least 7. This got very large. And, I mean, it's not even so large that, you know, it outpaces everything. But it doesn't take a lot of work in round to get it. And the books are such a powerful thing overall that, you know, any polymorph is basically just a kill on something. Rotten Apple is great. There's just a few, or Poison Apple. There's a few things that just take, you know, can take down an entire character. So you're basically getting a small body, but it has the chance to take out 2 characters. Since it doesn't, but even, I mean, even against the person we played, even the fireballs were doing enough damage to take out some of their backline. So, good round.